A good quality PTZ camera has become the centerpiece for a lot of church live streaming setups. And the reason we get better quality video out of a PTZ camera is its ability for us to find any place on the platform and zoom into that spot based on what's happening during your worship services. The Tenveo PTZ camera, the model number is the VL20H. It's going to give us 1080/60 recording. It's going to give us a 20 times optical zoom, which will fill a full body frame at about 100 feet. 20 times zoom will. So if my camera is mounted 100 feet from where I'm going to be standing on a platform, I can still get a head-to-toe shot, full frame, at 20 times zoom or thereabout. That's a rough estimate. This particular camera is going to give us USB-C audio, USB-C video out, HDMI video out. So I'm going to be able to plug this in to my ATEM, to my OC Go Stream. I'm going to be able to plug this into my YOLObox Pro or Ultra. I can use this directly with a computer or a laptop. So the versatility of this particular camera with its USB-C and HDMI output is really quite flexible, quite versatile. I like what it's going to offer me. When I'm zoomed all the way out, I start with a 60-degree field of view, which is actually pretty good for a 20 times zoom. The 60 frames per second is good quality if you have a church where there's a lot of action on your platform and you want to make sure that you don't have that motion blur. You do have the ability to have auto or manual exposure, but I'd like for us to look at the what comes in the box kind of moment for the Tenveo 20 times PTZ camera. So the box is just a generic shipping box here. I will tell you some of the technical specifications that we're going to find here include a 1 to 2.8 CMOS Sony sensor. We've got, like we said, 1080 to 1080/60, 20 times optical zoom. Our pan tilt rotation is going to give us 175 degrees around and 90 degrees plus, 90 degrees minus. So we have a full range of motion for this device, and when you see how it's built, you'll understand why that's important. We can use H.264 and we can use H.265 according to its documentation. And H.265 is that that method that allows us to lower the load on our network, providing that our processor in our recording or streaming device is robust enough to handle the processing power it takes to do H.265. So if your processor is weaker, H.264 is better, but you need a more robust network. If your processor is stronger, but your network is a little bit weaker, you can go H.265 and you can work things around it like that. So whether you're mounting this in a traditional format with the base on bottom or to the ceiling, a ceiling mount works great. So let's open this up and see what is in the box. So we'll start with your generic or your basic or your expected user manual. Pull a little bit of this packing material out, and we'll get to the device itself. Well protected down in the middle of this box. By the way, this particular device was a Red Dot winner in 2023. That's an impressive little feather in its cap. All right, pull out the shipping foam there, the lens cover here. And you may be noticing that this is a one-arm mount. It does not have both arms here. It just has the one, and that's just a neat little package there. So across the back, we're going to find some other connectability here. We're going to have RS-485 and RS-232 for our PTZ controls. Here is our reset button and our, I don't know what, that may not be a reset button. Here's our USB-C port, our HDMI port, and then our power, 12 volts in. We do have a 1/4-20 mount on the bottom. All right, so all the way to me, almost all the way to me. So I've got almost a 360 degree panning ability. That would be 175 degrees each way, I suppose, which would be 350 if my math is correct. And then 90 degrees up, 90 degrees down. Of course, we only have usable in this direction until we run into catching a view of the base. So although it will go that far, it's limited in what it can actually see there. I suppose if we are aimed over here, we get a little, no, it's still about the same. So if I mount it to the ceiling, then I have a good range going down and not as good a range going up. So let's see what else is in the box. A couple of these boxes here on the side should give me my power delivery and my connection, mounting bracket, that kind of thing. So here are our anchors for mounting this into the wall. We've got our 1/4 for the mounting plate. We've got our RS-485 jack in the little green there in the package as well. Here's our power delivery. Basic barrel plug for plugging into the back of the camera. And then we have a 2-prong plug-in for the wall for AC power. Our mounting plate. In the other box, a whole lot lighter than the first box, we're going to find our remote and our cables. Here is our remote, give us full control of everything about the camera itself. And then we have a USB-C cable in the bag. USB-C cable does have a security thumb screw here, so we can screw that in. You don't have to worry about it coming out of the back of the camera. USB-A on the other end. I don't see an HDMI cable in this box. All right, I'm going to throw a few things back in here. Lens cover there. Get this out of the way. We'll put our camera back front and center here. All right. A very attractive package, and what we want to do next is take this into the church setting, go ahead and set it up in the back of my church. Let me get up on the platform and let's see what kind of image we're going to be able to get out of this particular PTZ camera. Bringing this into the church setting, we'll go ahead and zoom from 75 feet away all the way into our baptistry. Now this is from our sound booth, which is at the very back of our church, all the way to the baptistry, which is at the very back of the platform, as far away in this room as we can have 2 pieces of equipment. So if I'm in the baptistry here, you notice that I would be able to see me head and shoulders baptizing whoever is in the baptistry there. And then we'll work our way backwards from there. This is going to give me my pulpit shot so that you can see me head to waist. So a waist up shot here at the pulpit gives me just enough room to be able to move to either side. I don't walk a whole lot when I preach, and so being able just to move to either side of the pulpit is just about right for me. So this is the shot that I would get here. That baptistry shot was just shy of 20 times zoom. I didn't zoom all the way in, but to get both sides of the baptistry there, I zoomed out just a hair from full zoom in. Let me see if I can go ahead and zoom it back in. I'll step out of the way so you can see what a full zoom was there. Well, that may not be lined up though. I didn't think about that. So let's go back to preset 3. All right, preset 3 is the one where I would be at the pulpit, or whoever would be at the pulpit. Preset 2 that we went ahead and set up as we were getting ready is going to catch my musicians. Now, this stand is not in the right spot. He puts it here. And so he's leading from here. I've got another gentleman beside him, another gentleman behind him, and I've got a young man in the back on a cajon. And so this is going to be what part of our worship set looks like. That is a preset that catches that section of our worship. Let me go ahead and back it up to preset 2. Now you have 9 presets on this. So the ability to catch whatever's happening up here on either side, zoom in, zoom out, whatever you need. And you can change those with the press of a button. And so I want to move so I can make sure I'm seeing preset 2 there. Yes, that preset gives me my worship leaders, and then the next preset gives me the entire width of the platform so I can see all the way from piano to organ, and catch everything that's happening on the platform there. And then just to show you what it looks like to zoom on out, in that 60-degree field of view that you start with, I'm going to catch, let's see, from there, I should be able to catch, what is that, second row? Yeah, I'd be able to catch the second from the back row all the way to the front, and you can see what's happening in every part of the sanctuary with that particular view. So my PTZ camera remote is going to be the way that I'm going to start off using this particular device. And the way I see this Tenveo 20x PTZ camera is a great way for me to begin my live streaming journey. If I were just starting out and I didn't have a whole lot of a budget to invest here, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you I have this $300 PTZ camera connected to my iPad, because the iPad now allows you to use a third-party camera to run into your device. And then I'm actually using the Mevo multicam software, because that's one that I'm used to. If you followed my channel, you know that Mevo is a great solution for a lot of streaming and recording needs that I have. But I will say that I can run this camera via USB-C directly into my computer and run ProPresenter as my streaming software if I'm already using that media software in my church. I can also run this device into my OC Go Stream Deck, into my ATM Mini, and be able to stream or record there as well. I can run this into one of my YOLO boxes and record there and stream there as well. And so the flexibility that I have in this one, whether HDMI out or USB-C out, is going to allow that 1080/60 to come full strength into any of these devices and use them to live stream my church services or to be able to record my church services and upload again later. And a 20x optical zoom seems to be the sweet spot for this size church. I am 78 feet from back to front, and so I can get that waist up shot in the baptistry at 78 feet. If I went on out to 100 feet, I could get head to toe at 100 feet. So the 20x zoom is going to be a great shot for a lot of churches that are about this size. Going to be an attractive price point for a lot of churches that would have a budget that would allow them to afford that. And then if they have a relatively modern media system in the back, whether it's iPad based or whether it's computer based, you can plug that in and run it through a lot of your media presentation software that will allow you to either stream or record from that. And so it becomes a really good beginning place. It's a jumping in point for a lot of churches that are looking to go ahead and start streaming or recording their worship services. And you can do so from way in the back, out of the way, and have the presets that let you find any spot on the platform for all that's happening in your church services.